Hey YouTube, Shukum Shinobi here with a review of the S.H.Figuarts Kamen Rider 1 and 2, Ichigo and Nigo, the first versions. You can basically just watch the next versions and get the same review, but whatever, let's do this anyway. So just like that review, I am going to open one and the other one's just already here. So I'm just going to go over Nigo's box real quick. Basically a really cool picture of Nigo. I would try to emulate that image with the figure, but I don't know if I'd be able to, so I just emulated this picture right here on the back. Flying kicks and fusion dances and punches and things, so he's just doing the fusion dance. Because he wants to fuse with Ichigo to make V3 or something, I don't know. So anyway, Ichigo, the first version. We've got Ichigo right here going like, oh, I'm Ichigo. And then Masked Rider 1. I'm sorry for the darkness. This is really gay. Masked Rider 1, the first version. First logo down here. On the back here we've got a very similar like karate chop action kind of pose. A rider kick and a kind of beat 'em up pose. Whatever. I don't know what I call these things. But since my Ichigo is going to be riding the Cyclone, I won't be needing a pose. So let's set that up back here a little bit and go with that. So we've got Ichigo right here. He comes with gropey molester hands, kind of this hand, like some sort of, I don't know what to call it really, and a karate chop hand. And then the scarf, that's just a dangly scarf, and then a flapping in the wind scarf. So, not really huge on the accessory list, but considering that these were, pardon the pun, the first Figuarts made, I guess that's okay. So to put on the scarves, you just kind of take Ichigo and pop his head off. And since he's going to be on the bike, I want him to emulate some sort of action, so let's put the cool action scarf on him, and then put his head back on. If I can figure out how, there we go. So, articulation is really, really basic. We've got some really tight shoulder pads right here. Just like this, and basically just typical Figuarts articulation. Leg joint that I actually really like. The belt's pretty cool. Let's get a good look at the belt here. Ta-da! Belt's really cool. I like the first version of this belt. Looks really neat. All the way to the back. It's its own little piece, but it's like a big torso piece. So it's kind of strange. His little tramp stamps right there. And basically all of the same molded details from the original releases, except the helmets are now not battle damaged. So as you can see right here on the original release of Ichigo, it's all like burnt and battle damaged, but on the first versions, they're all nice and clean, so hooray. Let's kind of get Ichigo ready to ride the bike. It doesn't come with any hands, so the best ones to ride the bike with would probably be either the molester hands or these weird looking hands. So I'm just going to kind of go with these. So let's pop both those off. I guess that's in. Just like that. So he's kind of all ready to go for the next review. And I'm not even really going to bother to pose him, so he's just going to kind of hang out here, look like he's doing Thriller or something. And we'll place that back there. So let's compare the Ichigos, and then we'll compare the Nigos. Nigo is the same exact mold as Ichigo, except he doesn't have, as you can see, he doesn't have shoulder pads. That is pretty much the only difference. So here are the two Ichigos. Let's give him some sort of pose. This is just kind of silly. He's doing the robot now. So as you can see, there's actually quite a bit of difference between the Ichigos. The first version, sorry for shaky cam, is very blue. He's a very bluish tint to him. He's got nice little pink eyes, and it's a really nice tealish blue color. While the next version not only features the battle damage helmet, but is also very green. He's a very green color, and as you can see, he went from having the singular stripe on his line, or on his leg and arm, for that matter, on the first version, to the dual line on the next version. So there's quite a bit of differences between, there's my finger again, between the first and the next versions. But overall, if you have one, you don't really need the other one. So I would say just kind of pick your favorite. Excuse me, that was a burp. I don't know if you heard that or not. Nigo, on the other hand, sitting here doing his fusion dance, is pretty much the same thing. As you can see right here, there's a slight shade difference. The next version's a lot crisper and newer, while the next version, I don't know if I said the next version over here. This is the first version. While the next version's a lot paler, it looks older. Again, with the very, very battle damaged helmet. But the next version is just a lot paler, and it looks a lot older than the other two. I'm so good at English in this review. This is awesome. So it's kind of like comparing like a lime to not a lime. I was going nowhere quickly with that, but you can probably tell the shade difference on the camera here, so that's fine. And of course, we go from having a single line here to a single line here as well. So he doesn't really change at all there either. The only really difference is that there's a Shocker logo on the back here. It's on the back of Ichigo too, I think. There we go. The Shocker emblem back there. So that's really the only difference. I'm kind of disappointed in the Nigos. Or not the Nigos, but rather... Don't fall. Well, rather the first version of Nigo. Oh, no, Ichigo doesn't have the Shocker logo. Never mind. Because Nigo was developed as a Shocker rider. So there's our little group of 4 guys that are extremely identical to each other. I do recommend Ichigo. He's the first Kamen Rider. He's very recognizable. And the first was actually a pretty decent movie. And there's a big enough difference between the first version and the next version to kind of warrant the purchase. Nigo, however, he's not as recognizable. And the first and the next versions are almost the same exact figure. In fact, I feel really stupid for buying it. It's kind of like the Kuga Ultimate form all over again. But it's not worth the purchase for Nigo if you already have the next Nigo. Ichigo, however, I think is warrant of a purchase if you do like the mold and like the movie. Then you really wouldn't be disappointed. There's a big enough difference to where it feels like a new figure. So be sure to check out the blog at shukunshinobi.wordpress.com for all these reviews, updates, and release dates. And check out the podcast at Riders, Rangers, and Rambles at ridersrangersandrambles.com. So, see you there. Take care and have a great one. Bye.